it's Marian. Welcome to 25 Days of Plantmas. This is a special Mom Raises Life holiday series where I'll be talking about at least one of my plants per day, every day during Vlogmas. I'll be sharing with you the plant's journey with me ever since I've gotten it, all of our highs and lows, and of course how I care for and propagate the plant. So let's go check my plant event calendar and see which one of my plants I'll be sharing with you today. Today is day 21 of 25 Days of Plantmas. And our plantmas of the day is my Hoya carnosa. In an earlier episode of 25 Days of Plantmas, you met my Hoya carrii, and now I'm going to show you my two other Hoyas that make up my very small Hoya collection. I'm not a houseplant person that's very much into Hoyas. I actually tiptoed around it. I still don't really see the hype in Hoyas, to be honest, because as I mentioned in my wish list versus swipe list video, I think most Hoyas look very much alike, and I don't see the need to invest in many types of Hoyas, so I only get the ones that have caught my eye. And so far it was the Hoya carrii and then this two. So first I want to talk about this one. This is the Hoya Hindu rope, or the Hoya carnosa compacta. I got this on clearance at Lowe's. It was $5. It came in a glass vestibule, but I was very hesitant to buy it because it was a bit damaged, to be honest, and the roots were wrapped into this like green foam thingy, and I wasn't so sure that I was able to get it out, but I was able to get it out when I got home, and now it's just setting in water and let the roots recover and grow. And so it's in there for now. And I just stuck this in water propagation in the tube that it came in. And so far it worked that way. I had hang on the wall and I kept it there for the longest time. I wasn't really minding this too much because I knew that the Hoya Hindu compacta is a very, very slow grower. But surprisingly enough, this grew roots pretty quickly. So at that point, I felt the need to repot it, and I put it in this pot. And I put a chopstick and use it as stake so that it kind of grows up, or it's standing up instead of just hanging down, because the pot is kind of small and it's just going to tip over. So I did put it up on a stake, but it wasn't really producing any new growth or any new leaf, at least for the longest time. And then towards the growing season, it started producing new leaves on top, and actually right now it's also trying to push another set of leaves on top, which is amazing. And I think it's also growing new stems here at the bottom, which is great. And I haven't seen any peduncle in this. This hasn't also flowered for me this fall season, but I never really expected it to because it's such a small plant. I'm actually surprised it survived because, like I said, it was in a clearance section. It wasn't looking too good, and its roots were in a botanical foam that I had to slowly get rid of without damaging much of the roots, but it survived, and it's a very resilient plant. And I water this every 2 to 3 weeks maybe. I try not to overwater it, just even though it's a very small plant, because I don't think it really needs it. Sometimes I wait for the leaves to also be wrinkly. I know the Hoya compacta is already like kind of crinkled, but you will kind of see it. You will notice the difference. And what I mean by crinkly is like the leaves itself have wrinkles. Like now it might be curled and compact, but it is smooth. But when it's really dry and needs water, the leaf itself, the surface itself has wrinkles. So that's when I water it. But sometimes I just wait for the soil to dry out because it is a small plant, and I just water it. I also put some eggshells on top because I've learned from summer rain oaks that eggshells will help the soil become sweeter, which is what Hoyas like. And I did the same for the Hoya Crimson Queen. So this Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen was the very last plant that I bought this growing season. I think I bought it towards the end of September, I believe. It was definitely sometime towards the end of the summer. I can't remember when, but I had featured this in a couple of videos, and this is also the most expensive plant I ever bought, which is $35. And some of you might say, oh, that's an overpriced plant for a Hoya carnosa, and some of you might say, oh, that's just about right for this size. But for me, this was a really expensive plant to be paying for a Hoya carnosa, because Hoya carnosas are pretty common, even if it's a Crimson Queen or a Crimson Princess. But the first time that I saw a Hoya Crimson Princess in my garden center, which was actually just for $16, that's why I kind of cringe when I paid $35 for this, because I have seen this just go for $16, but I didn't buy it then because I bought the Cebu Blue Pothos during that time and I didn't want to make two big purchases that day, so I went with the Cebu Blue Pothos instead of the Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. So I told myself the next time I see a Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen, I'm just not gonna let it go, I'm gonna buy it. So one time I was at Green Street Gardens, I was just gonna check out what they have, because usually they have really nice plants. And I saw this and they were selling it for $35 and I was like, do I really want to buy it? Do I really want to buy it? But you know, I just went ahead and buy it because it had such good white leaf variegation, and this is a more mature plant, and so I was hoping that it would flower for me because it is a mature plant. It didn't flower this growing season, but I'm hoping next growing season or next fall season it would produce flowers for me. I don't think I gave it the right conditions and to flower it, and when I bought it, it was during the time that it was supposed to bloom, and so I think it was spending its energy adjusting to environment instead of just blooming. But either way, it works. I'm very happy with this plant. It is still in its nursery pot. I didn't repot it just because the soil it came with is actually pretty good. But when I repot this next season, I'm probably gonna shift it into a soilless medium, because since this is an epiphytic plant, it doesn't really need soil. So I might give it a more orchid barky type of mix. And I really like this plant because it does trail quite fast. It has trailed quite a bit ever since I got it. And for a Hoya, that's actually a pretty good, because Hoyas are known to be very slow growers, but this one isn't. And I like this even though the variegation is not that much on the green leaves. It's just pretty much on the rim, and sometimes you can't even see it. It does produce a lot of white leaves for me too, although the white leaves don't really last as long, so I appreciate it when I have it. And sometimes you get surprises like this, like really red leaves, and that's what I love about this plant. It gives you surprises. It gives you surprises with the pink leaves and the red leaves in its variegation, not just the white leaves or the white variegation outside of the leaves. So yeah, this is my Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen and my Hoya Hindu Rope, also known as the Hoya Compacta. I think if you are not a person that's into Hoyas, or maybe you're just a person trying to dabble into Hoyas, these plants are the ones that I would recommend aside from the Hoya carrii, just because they're very easy care plants, and Hoyas do take some time adjusting. Well, that is true with any house plants, but Hoyas are not necessarily plant beginner plants. They're more house plants 102. So it takes a little bit of experience with plants, although it can be fine for plant beginners, but it's for plant beginners that has a little bit experience already with plants, because I've heard stories of people killing their Hoyas, and Hoyas can be pricey in general. And I would just luck out that I got this for $5 and my Hoya carrii for $8. But as you can see with this one, I got this for $35, and for some people, they probably, oh, I just got mine for $15, Marianne. You paid way too much for your Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. And I would agree. Aside from the eggshells, I haven't fertilized it. And when it comes to watering this one, I water this once a month because it is a big Hoya Carnosa. And Hoyas are kind of like succulents as well, or treated like succulents. So I just water this once a month as well, and it works out pretty well for it. But yeah, this is my Hoya Carnosa and my Hoya Hindu Rope, our Plantmas of the day. That's our Plantmas story of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of 25 Days of Plantmas. And if you miss any episodes, all of them will be included in the playlist that links up in the card and down in the description. Thanks again for watching. I see you, I appreciate you, and have a plentiful holiday season, everyone. Bye!